shit, yeah, they bread stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an...
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Mad Matty Fight Talk. So UFC 277 just went down in Dallas, Texas. They had an action-packed fight card. A whole bunch of good fights on there. They had Derrick Lewis taking on Sergei, Palvovich. Anthony Thomas taking on Magomed, Ankeloev. Then you had the Kai France versus Brandon Moreno for the interim title. And also Perez taking on Alexander Pantoja. And that all of these fights, they were spectacular. They were really, really good. It was an action-packed fight card. The fans over there were awesome. It seemed like it was a very loud arena. But we're going to jump right into the main event. So Julianna Pena, who dethroned Amanda Nunes months ago to take the title, was defending her championship for the very first time. And that was an absolute dogfight. I mean, Julianna Pena has heart like no other. But Amanda Nunes proved why she is the greatest women's fighter of all time. Amanda Nunes ended up winning a landslide unanimous decision, and she put in work in that fight. The first round seemed pretty back and forth. It looked like they were both a little bit gun shy. They both looked like they were having respect because of the first fight. So they were kind of landing, kind of holding back, kind of landing. The second round comes around, and I think Julianna Pena had too much confidence from getting into a gunfight with Amanda Nunes from the first fight, because she was just had the chin up in the air and she was just throwing combos and running full speed at Nunes, which got her clipped 3 different times. The first time she got dropped, it looked like she got knocked the fuck out, and Beltran almost stepped in and stopped the fight. You saw him take a step, but Amanda Nunes immediately went to her back and waited for Nunes to come in. Luckily for her, her guard is so good that Nunes didn't want to step in there right away, because I'm pretty sure that fight would have been stopped immediately. And then there was 2 other occasions where she got clipped hard. One of them, it looked like her eyes rolled to the back of her head. Nunes looked like she was on fire this fight. So the second round reminded me a lot of Conor versus Diaz, where Diaz got dropped hard. And if any round is a 10-8 round, that round should be a 10-8 round. And I'm pretty sure on some of the judges' scorecards it was. But later on in the fight, Nunes ends up taking Pena down. Pena started landing some good shots in the third. They start trading back and forth. But Nunes ultimately gets the fight to the ground, where she pretty much controlled it. Pena was throwing up a lot of submissions. But when Nunes got the chance to land ground and pound, she was landing nasty elbows, split Pena's face up multiple times. She had 2 or 3 solid gashes on her face. She's definitely going to need stitches. But regardless, the GOAT is back. Anybody who doubted this woman, including myself, I thought, you know, she was washed up. She was making excuses. I thought she just accomplished so much that she was over the sport. But man, she really proved everybody wrong, and she took her belt back in a violent fashion. Prior to the first fight, she said that she caught COVID, which, you know, that depending on who you are and how your body reacts to that, it could definitely slow you down. So I could see that. I didn't even know that she had COVID going into that, and she was suffering from a knee injury. I thought that she was making excuses and couldn't just accept the loss. And I thought that was really going to play a factor, but I think I was wrong in this one, because she definitely came out looking like the Amanda Nunes of old that knocked out Ronda Rousey, that knocked out Holly Holm. She was violent, she was aggressive, and she stuck to the game plan. I mean, there was a few times where Pena really landed some nasty submissions, where it threw up some nasty submissions and had some decent positioning, but not enough to stop Nunes. Nunes is now the double champ for the second time. I think she's the first person ever to be a double champ twice. So, of course, Nunes setting more records. She's also the only woman to drop somebody in a title fight 3 times, I believe is what they said. So, congratulations, Amanda Nunes won that fight. Going into the co-main event, you had Brandon Moreno, the former champion, taking on Kai France, who's riding a wave of momentum. Brandon Moreno had those 3 outstanding wars with Davis and Figueiredo. This fight was really good. Very technical, a high-speed technical fight. These guys had a lot of respect for each other's game. Moreno, you know, he looked really sharp. Kai France started off a little too gun shy, I think. But as the fight went on, he started unloading. It was very back and forth. The third round is really where things got interesting, because Kai France started finding a home for his strikes and started landing nasty shots, hurting Moreno on multiple occasions. I wouldn't say hurting, but landing hard on Moreno on multiple occasions. He eventually takes Moreno down, lands a nasty elbow, gets a gash opened up. So Moreno's bleeding, causes him to fight a little bit sloppy, but Moreno ultimately lands a nasty left kick to the body, and you could see Kai France's face just grimacing in pain as he fell to the ground when Moreno rushed in, landed some nasty shots, and got the TKO victory. So Brandon Moreno ends up becoming the new interim flyweight champion of the world. Davis and Figueiredo comes into the ring. These guys show a lot of respect for each other. You know, I thought that would have been a fun point where they could have made some adversity or created some hype for the fourth fight. But whatever, you know, they fought 3 times. So these guys probably do just really respect each other. Long story short, Figueiredo said he wants the 4th fight to go down in Brazil, in his hometown. So I'm pretty sure Dana White's going to make that happen. Both guys want to unify the titles. Both guys want to go at it again. And I can't fucking wait for that. I mean, the Kai France Brandon Moreno fight was very fun to watch. It was a lot like the first fight. But that left kick to the body, man, it shut France down and got Brandon the victory. So shout out to Brandon for getting the dub and becoming the interim champion. Moving a little bit further down the fight card, you had Derrick Lewis taking on Sergei Palvovich. Sergei's 15-1. Derrick Lewis, obviously 21 KOs. The guy is the knockout king in the UFC. So to any fan watching, we knew that one wasn't going to go past the first round. And it sure didn't. Both guys came out swinging for the fences. Derrick Lewis got clipped and looked like he got hurt. He was a little bit wobbled. Sergei started landing, throwing crazy strikes. He did eventually catch Lewis, I'm not sure with a hook or uppercut, where it dropped Lewis face forward, but he wasn't out cold. He did get dropped, but he wasn't out cold. Dan Bergliata steps in, stops the fight, and Lewis pops up, contesting the stoppage, saying, "What are you doing, bro? You know, I'm in Texas. I keep losing over here. Stop this shit." And the fight ends. Sergei ends up winning another one. I think he is on a 4-fight first-round knockout streak right now. So that dude is potentially going to be seeing himself some top contenders real soon. I wish they would have let that one go a little bit longer because it didn't look like Lewis was extremely hurt. It looked like he could have definitely fought through that a little bit more. But to be completely honest, I mean, he did get clipped and he was wobbled more than Sergei was. But you never know. Lewis has the power of God in his right hand. And I'm telling you, man, sometimes when he's hurt, he lands and he knocks people out. Like, you know, the Volkan fight, Travis Brown. He's had plenty of times where he's been injured in fight. And I think the refs should know who you're dealing with in the ring. And it is their job to protect fighters, so I'm not mad at him. But, you know, Lewis is one of those guys, man. He can bounce back from that. So, I don't know, man. You guys got to hit me in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about that one. I personally thought it was stopped a little bit early. But Sergei gets the win and keeps that outstanding record rolling. The fight before that was Alex Perez taking on Alexander Pantoja. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but that fight was fucking crazy. These guys are top flyweight contenders, and Pantoja came out guns blazing. That fool ran right to the middle of the ring, started throwing combos at Perez. They started exchanging. Perez ended up jumping on him, taking his back, standing rear naked, choking him, and fucking ended the fight. I mean, what else is there to say? I believe it was the first, minute, maybe a minute and a half. That fight did not last long at all. Pantoja said, "I'm coming out and I'm making a statement," and he sure as fuck did. So shout out to you, because that was a very impressive, very quick victory. And Perez is looking at 2 losses in a row, so he's gonna need to regroup and bounce back from that. But that was a quick, fun fight to watch. And on the main card opener, you had Anthony Lionheart-Smith taking on Magomed Ankeloev, who is really the dark horse of that division. He's 17-1 going into this fight. A lot of people don't want to fight this dude. He has nasty power, good grappling. He's a well-rounded fighter. Anthony Smith and Magomed, they started off the fight a little bit slow. Smith went for a hard leg kick multiple times, and he was getting checked really hard, which ultimately ended up probably fracturing or breaking his ankle or some part in his leg. I'm not too sure yet. I'm going to have to find that out when the news comes out about it. But he got hurt early in that fight, I believe in the first round at some point. He's a tough motherfucker, though, because he kept fighting on it. But Ankeloev, I think he could sense the injury and probably was going to keep attacking that leg. Smith just goes for a takedown and then pulls guard. That's how you knew something was wrong, because his game plan just went out the window. I mean, obviously, if you fracture your leg or break it, I'm sure it's not an enjoyable experience to be fighting somebody who could potentially kick that and make it even worse. He's a fighter, and he's a pro fighter, and that guy fought his ass off. He did what he could do. He pulled guard. Not much happened from there. Ankeloev ended up teeing off on him and getting a TKO stoppage in the second round. So I wish I could have seen that fight go a little bit further, because it was very back and forth in the first round. Ankeloev looked sharp. Anthony Smith looked sharp. But Magomed keeps the momentum going, man. The guy's 18-1 now. And there really isn't anybody else who deserves a title shot over him or Anthony Smith, in my opinion, in that division. I don't know if Yuri's booked yet to fight Glover Teixeira again. But if he's not, I would love to see Yuri Prochazka taking on Magomed Ankalaev for the light heavyweight title. That'd be a fucking action-packed fight. I'd be very interested to see whose game plan gets done and what's going to happen in that. 2 good strikers. And it would just be interesting to see what happens in that. So if Glover's not getting the rematch, they need to give Magomed Ankeloev a shot at the belt. That'd be very, very intriguing. Anyway, hit me in the comments, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this fight card. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop more content. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an